Today is Friday, January 15th, and we are looking at Genesis chapter 15. Don't you think it's about time for a covenant? Time for a covenant. So in 15, we have the covenant between Abraham and God, the second covenant of Genesis. So this is how it happens. The Lord spoke to Abraham in a vision and told Abraham not to be afraid, that God would take care of him. And Abraham responds, I'm childless. I have no offspring. You promised me offspring, and as yet, no dice. And he's got this some heir in Damascus, and God says, the Lord, you know who that voice is, came to him and said, this man shall not be your heir. No one but your very own heir will be your heir. And to prove it to him, he brought him outside. And he said to Abraham, look at the stars in the sky. Your offspring will be as many as these. Your descendants will be like the stars in the sky. This is obviously something you bring into liturgy, into synagogue worship. This idea of Abraham and God ushering Abraham outside and saying, look up at the stars. Look how many stars there are. It's just a beautiful image and something great for use in a worship service. So this is what Abraham does. He takes the prescribed animals. Then Abraham said, then the Lord said to him, bring me a heifer 3 years old, a female goat 3 years old, a ram 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. He brought them all and cut them in two, and laying each half over and against the other. But he did not cut the birds in two. And when birds of prey came down to the carcasses, Abraham drove them away. Sun went down, he fell into a deep sleep, and darkness fell over him, and he had a dream. And in the dream, the sun finally went down. It was dark, and a smoking fire pot and a flaming torch passed between these pieces. And that was sort of the ritual around the covenant on that day. God made a covenant with Abram and gave him the land that apparently 10 different tribes, maybe 11 counting the Ammonites, or Amorites, sorry, not Ammonites, the Amorites, were inhabiting right now. So do you get a picture when you read this chapter, which is my first takeaway, about, first of all, it's a little gory with all the animal sacrifice. And then second of all, there's evidence of, okay, there's people living in this land. There's at least 10, maybe 11 tribes of people living in this land already. And then God sends Abraham there from the land of Ur and says, Abraham, you're my servant, and you're going to have all these descendants, and they're all going to live here, where these other people are already living. And so to identify where God says Abram's land is going to be, he lists the land of all these different groups who are already living there. And today, we still have a problem in this land because our God said it was given to us, and then, well, we were here first, and then they conquer each other, and but it goes back so many thousands of years, right? So this is the thing, you know. It's sort of like, what do? Find your own land, and but this is what it says, and this is what Zionists and different things stand on to say. God gave us this land. This is our land, and therein lies the rub. And saying rub is minimizing the conflict, but the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, it's all in this land we're talking about. And there's people who've been living here and people who think they're entitled to live there, and they have rights and these have rights, and conflict back then and conflict now. So that's therein lies the rub. Um, but the covenant has been made, so we have this second covenant in the book of Genesis, and we're up for a third, but it'll be a while before we get to that one. And I will see you tomorrow with the 16th chapter of Genesis. God bless you.